A huge problem that education is facing is standardized testing. Standardized tests are exams where every student gets the same questions and is graded the exact same way. The idea is that it makes it easier to compare students from different schools and districts, but honestly, it isn't always fair. Not everyone learns the same way, and these tests don't show what students actually know or what they're good at. It's like trying to measure everyone with the same ruler, even though we all learn and think differently. Standardized tests only measure a small range of skills, like memorization and basic problem solving, but they completely ignore things like creativity and critical thinking. Instead of actually learning, students spend way too much time just prepping for the test, which makes school feel more about scoring high than actually understanding things. On top of that, the pressure to do well can be super stressful and frustrating, knowing that one test score can feel like it defines your abilities when there's so much more to learning.
Groups that are being affected roundabout to Singapore, America, and Wisconsin. Education in Singapore is known as one of the greatest systems in the world. Singapore's standards are significantly different from America's because Singapore's curriculum is highly structured, mostly focusing on the mastery of core subjects like math, science, and others. It emphasizes deep understanding rather than rote memorization, ensuring that students are well prepared for tests. Although America's structured is also very structured, it has a different entail on students. Singapore's school year starts later, allowing a agricultural society. Children's testing begins early in Singapore's education system to get the students ready for what's to come. U.S. schools begin the academic year in August or September, with schools ending in June or July. With a clear focus on developing problem-solving skills and critical thinking, this leads to a higher levels of competency in key academic classes. Singapore's testing systems only focus on a higher number of state exams, allowing students to worry about a few key subjects. America, on the other hand, has some of the basic testing to see if you understand what is being thrown at you. America passes students with low scores even if they don't understand because the standards are lower in this economy. State leaders can choose to align their standard tests to the National Assessment of Education Progress in Wisconsin. High school students were also required to take the ACT as part of the state's college readiness assignment. Testing the knowledge of students was very important because it assesses college readiness and is required for graduation.
Some schools are trying to fix standardized testing by doubling down on test prep, taking more and more practice tests, memorizing facts, but it just makes things worse. These tests don't help students think critically or understand the material better. Plus, judging teachers based on students' test scores just puts more pressure on them to teach the test instead of focusing on real learning. Some schools have actually made testing way less stressful by making a few simple changes. They reduce the number of questions on tests and cut down the time students have to sit there taking them, which makes it way easier to focus. Plus, they change testing policies to take some of the pressure off, so students aren't freaking out as much when test season comes around. And the best part? They started giving fewer tests overall, which means more students have more time for real learning instead of just non-stop test prep. Honestly, these changes make school feel a lot more balanced and way less overwhelming.
In the U.S., out of all states, Massachusetts has the highest test scores. Massachusetts has a comprehensive system called MCAS that is standardized test which measures students' achievements across the various subjects. The MCAS system categorizes students' performance into meeting expectations and not meeting expectations. It helps to identify areas for support and gaps in achievements, leading to higher test scores and improving students' performance. The MCAS has been successful in Massachusetts due to Massachusetts Educational Reform Act of 1993. If other states in the U.S. will use the MCAS system for testing, it might improve their skill too. Additional things that can be added to it would be that if students won't be able to do well on these tests, they will have a hard time getting scholarships for college. And if their teachers will be able to fail them getting ready for these tests, their paychecks will decrease from students' scores. But for that to happen, the students have to score below average. But if they will do good on these tests, they will have higher chance for scholarships and for teachers to have higher paychecks.
To address the issues with standardized testing, we should diversify assignment methods by incorporating project-based evaluation, portfolios, and performance tests, which can prove a more comprehensive view of students' abilities beyond memorization. Additionally, implementing formative assignments which offer ongoing feedback can help teachers adjust instructions to meet students' needs. Reducing the length of frequency of tests would alleviate students' stress, while enhancing tests designed to focus on problem solving and higher order thinking would encourage deeper learning, providing resources to support students during testing.